Have you ever wondered which empires were the biggest, the most powerful, the ones that truly shaped the world we live in today? From the sun-scorched sands of Persia to the vast plains of Mongolia, history is a grand tapestry woven with the threads of colossal empires. Today, we re-embarking on an epic journey to count down some of the most massive and influential states ever to exist. So, buckle up, history lovers, as we explore the giants who once ruled the world. Let's start our journey in the ancient world with the Achaemenid Empire, also known as the First Persian Empire. Founded by Cyrus the Great around 550 BC, this empire was a true trailblazer. At its zenith, it stretched from the Balkans in the west to the Indus Valley in the east, covering an astonishing 5.5 million square kilometers. Think about that for a second. It was the largest empire the world had ever seen at that point. But its size wasn't the only thing that made it remarkable. The Achaemenids were administrative geniuses. They created the Royal Road, a highway system that allowed for rapid communication and travel across their vast domain. They established a standardized currency and a postal service. More importantly, they practiced a policy of tolerance toward different cultures and religions, a revolutionary idea for its time. This approach allowed them to govern a diverse population of millions, creating a stable and prosperous superstate that lasted for over 2 centuries until it fell to Alexander the Great. Jumping forward a few centuries, we arrive in China during the Han Dynasty. Lasting for over 400 years, from 206 BC to 220 AD, the Han Dynasty is considered a golden age in Chinese history. At its peak, its territory rivaled the size of the contemporary Roman Empire, covering over 6 million square kilometers. But its legacy is much more than just landmass. The Han Dynasty was a powerhouse of innovation and culture. This is the era that gave us papermaking, one of the most important inventions in human history. They made significant advances in agriculture, medicine, and astronomy. The government was structured around a sophisticated civil service system, where officials were chosen based on merit through examinations, a model that would influence China for millennia. The Han Dynasty consolidated the concept of China itself, and the majority ethnic group in China today still refers to themselves as the Han people, a testament to its enduring impact. Now, let us travel west to the shores of the Mediterranean and talk about an empire whose name is synonymous with power, the Roman Empire. From its humble beginnings as a small city-state, Rome grew to dominate the entire Mediterranean basin. At its height under Emperor Trajan in 117 AD, it controlled about 5 million square kilometers of territory, home to an estimated 50 to 90 million people, which was about 20% of the world's population at the time. The Romans were masters of engineering, law, and military strategy. Their legions were the most formidable fighting force of the ancient world. They built incredible aqueducts, roads, and cities, many of which still stand today. Roman law formed the basis for many modern legal systems, and their language, Latin, evolved into the Romance languages we know, like French, Spanish, and Italian. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, was a period of unprecedented stability and prosperity that lasted for 2 centuries. The legacy of Rome is all around us, in our architecture, our government, and our language. No list of great empires would be complete without the caliphates that emerged from the Arabian Peninsula. Following the time of the Prophet Muhammad in the 7th century, the Rashidun, Umayyad, and later the Abbasid caliphates expanded with breathtaking speed. At its greatest extent, the Umayyad Caliphate was one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Spain in the west to the borders of India in the east, covering more than 11 million square kilometers. This period is also known as the Islamic Golden Age. While Europe was in the Middle Ages, cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Cordoba were vibrant centers of science, philosophy, medicine, and mathematics. Scholars in the Islamic world preserved and translated the great works of Greek thinkers and made their own monumental contributions. They invented algebra, advanced optics, and developed sophisticated medical practices. This empire was not just a military and political force, it was a beacon of knowledge that illuminated the world. Now, prepare for a force of nature unlike any other, the Mongol Empire. In the 13th century, a chieftain named Genghis Khan united the nomadic tribes of the Mongolian steppe and unleashed a wave of conquest that the world had never seen. Within a few decades, he and his successors forged the largest contiguous land empire in history. At its peak, it stretched from Eastern Europe to the Sea of Japan, covering a mind-boggling 24 million square kilometers, nearly a quarter of the Earth's land area. The Mongol conquests were famously brutal, but what came after is often overlooked. They established the Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace. They secured and reopened the Silk Road, fostering incredible trade and communication between East and West. Ideas, technologies, and goods flowed freely across Eurasia. Gunpowder, the printing press, and the compass all made their way to Europe during this time, thanks in large part to the stability the Mongols provided. They were ruthlessly efficient administrators, creating a sophisticated postal system called the Yam and practicing religious tolerance throughout their vast domain. Finally, we arrive at the empire on which the sun never set, the British Empire. Beginning in the late 16th century, through its powerful navy and commercial ambition, Great Britain built a global empire of colonies, dominions, and protectorates. By the early 20th century, it was the largest empire in history, period. It held sway over 35.5 million square kilometers, almost a quarter of the world's land, and ruled over 400 million people. Its influence was profound and complex. The British spread their language, their legal system, common law, and their sports, like cricket and football, across the globe. English became the international language of commerce and diplomacy. They built vast infrastructure projects like railways and canals. However, this legacy is also deeply controversial, marked by exploitation, conflict, and the suppression of local cultures. The story of the British Empire is a powerful reminder that the legacies of these colossal states are never simple. They are a mixture of creation and destruction, progress and pain. From the administrative genius of the Persians to the cultural explosion of the caliphates and the sheer scale of the Mongol and British empires, these powerful states have left an indelible mark on our planet. They connected the world, spread ideas and technologies, and laid the foundations for the nations we know today. Their stories are the story of us. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through time. Which empire do you find most fascinating? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip through history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic explorations. See you in the next video.